Good morning, StarCraft viewers. This is a Galleon SC2 cast brought to you by Esports Canada. Please pardon the static. It happens once and again because this is the vehicle of technology. Ladies and gentlemen, I've got a great match for you. This is a Terran versus Protoss. We have the world-famous LiquidTLO, who is the Red Terran, sitting in the north of Zelnaga Caverns. He's pumping out those SCVs, and if we look south, we can see that aTnSocke, a world-famous player of almost equal renown, at least in the European community, is the blue Protoss in the south of Zelnaga Caverns. Now, ladies and gentlemen, I can only hope that this is going to be an epic, epic match, because that is what I want to see, and that is what you want to see. And I'm going to say it again, I love all you viewers. It's the viewers that make StarCraft happen. Without viewers, it's just a bunch of nerds playing video games in their basements, and you guys really make it happen. You gotta appreciate that that's how it goes. Nice quick look at TLO, though. I gotta love, he's really almost perfectly doubled up his SCVs. Small boost, but shows that he's putting that APM to good use. Here comes the barracks. Fairly standard timing at about that 12. And let's see how this moves out. We're going to be probably seeing the usual no real tech deviations until... Ooh, there's the gas after, but we do see the gas coming down. As I was about to say, that we're going to be seeing the standard no strong hints to what the tech is going to be until the scouts are pushed out of the bases. Terran able to do that a little earlier with just a pure marine. Looks like a little bit of a late orbital command. Ooh, a little bit of probe micro. Here we go. Probe seeing the barracks. Not being able to get any harass. This is not a Huck probe, but it getting close enough. Hopefully checking how much gas was mined. Checking, that's a very important tally. You need to click on that geyser, see what's going on. Orbital about halfway done. The standard kind of slow beginnings of one rack's opening. There's that marine. It's going to pick off. Is the probe going to get away? I think the probe is going to get away very nicely. He kept that probe outside, close to the ramp, so that he knew he could run it away. Cybercore is finished. Now, what's interesting, actually, is that TLO has, I believe, in fact, I am sure... Oh, no. I'm sorry. Where is his scouting? My goodness, the observer issue. Get caught up in the little bits, but are you seeing everything that's going on? TLO has in fact not left his ramp at all. He has not scouted. He doesn't care what the Protoss is doing because his build is so sick it doesn't even matter. Now the Protoss probe touched the tower. It's going to do a little bit of a sneaky pylon placement and move around, so we'll see what that means. Warp gates coming up for the Protoss and some stalkers, as is normal, but I'm not seeing any excessive chrono boost on that unit. Again, no scouting, no need to. 3 marines guarding that front. A little bit of a supply block, for our Protoss player. That's a bit of a disadvantage, obviously. He does have that proxy pylon in position, and here comes the first unit. This is a Zealot. This is some aggressive scouting. First he sees that, there is no command center on the low ground. There's command center on the high ground. Zealot runs all the way up. Did he turn it around? I'm not sure I even like the decision to turn it around, unless it gets away alive, and it does! Here's the stalker for a little bit of micro. Personally, I would have just sacrificed that Zealot into the base to try to get a little bit more vision, but, I mean, hey, if you really know your timings and it can get out perfectly, then well done. Here comes the Hellion from the hack factory from Terran. Couple extra warp gates coming up, it looks like. And a little bit of Hellion. Did the Hellion scout that? Yes, it did. It scouted that pylon, and it's going to tell him, hey, there's a pylon. And when I mean him, I mean aTnSocke. And aTnSocke with the 1 sentry on the ramp, taking things slow. TLO with the simple marines into the command center with the factory. Ooh, Hellion, nice block by the sentries. Who needs a force field when you have 2 sentries? That was really, really sick. I am impressed. A little bit of push at the front. 1 stalker being scared away, getting a little bit of damage on these marines. That Zealot, oh my goodness, that 0 HP Zealot. Ooh, Hellion shooting in some warped in units at this proxy pylon. 2 stalkers, going to be able to pick off with some nice micro doesn't actually kill anything. This is a game of like 3 HP units. You gotta love this micro in the early game, people. Ladies and gentlemen, I am enjoying this. Now, Protoss has dropped his expansion. Terran has the orbital finishing in his base. Starport is coming underway. Now, luckily, this is not going to be a 1-1-1 because who wants to see another 1-1-1 game? Really, they are everywhere and they are boring. Nexus, as you can see, just under halfway done. Both players are going to go for a little bit of macro. It's interesting that that proxy pylon still hasn't been taken out, but good micro by Socke, good pressure to allow it to stay up. Starport's finishing. Is he going to put an add-on onto the starport? We'll see. Protoss throwing down the typical pylons to get that expansion all set up. Protoss unit's actually very forward on the map, but they're just going to retreat back, at least to his tower, and in fact, Protoss having both towers, I'm really quite interested in the way the TLO just doesn't really seem to care what the Protoss is doing. He's getting a sense just based on the units that he's seeing, and really that's all he needs, apparently. TLO is such a baller. He's got that fairly full tech tree. Protoss, the Twilight Cancel just about to finish. The Robo started. Protoss throwing up his +1 ground armor just as his Nexus finishes. And when we talk about add-ons, we've got a barracks and we've got 2 tech labs. So we've got concussive shell and stem started. We've got reactored Hellions coming out of this factory and a starport that doesn't have the add-on. And we're looking over here at there we go. Right down to the saturation count, we can see that the economy is reasonably equal. Protoss at 34 probes to 33 SCVs, which means that Terran, with that 2 orbital muling out his main base, is actually getting a slightly higher income, but absolutely draining that main base a bit fast. And there comes the Hellions! It was a shock to you, just like me, and the Hellions are killing so many SCVs. Actually, oh my goodness, he actually lost more money in those Hellions because of those sick force fields. But here's the drop. These 2 Hellions going to drop down into the maze. He's going to be able to get some more kills. He's definitely getting some lost mining time, or forcing some lost mining time. Nice force field again. Where was that sentry? But beautiful micro from TLO, and he's going to absolutely escape with these 2 Hellions. He did drop 2 Hellions. He only killed somewhere in the neighborhood of about maybe 5-6 probes, but great harass, lots of lost mining time, absolutely keeping that Protoss on his toes. And you can see Zealot the Zealot, who is still down at his 17 health, man. He's still in this game. I gotta love this guy. I hope he makes this the entire game. Again, economy's reasonably equal. Nice little bit of harass. Both players handled it very, very well. Beautiful, beautiful force fields, allowing the damage to be fairly minimized. 2 dropships, some nice M&M, mostly heavily Marauder favored. There's very few Marines in that, only about 6. Mostly Marauders and Hellions. Feels like an all-in that might be played against a Zerg. But Reactor now on the starport, so we're going to be seeing more medvacs, and actually not having the economy to double produce those medvacs, so those reactors being a little wasted. We're seeing a bunch of production facilities in that Terran base, and the Terran is going to be doing a bit of a push here. Here it comes, right up down the front now. Is Protoss going to be ready for this with some nice force fields? Ooh, the Stalker sees it, and that's important. There's you can hear the sound effects of the scan so that he can see what's going on. Totally blocks off that one side, but all the bio came through the other way. The Zealots are completely wasted against force fields, doing nothing, and the Marauders are just destroying. The Stalker's probes are pulled. They have to be. Nice little micro by the Terran. Blinkers, the Stalkers just blink right in, those blinkers. Marauders hammering down units. They're starting to work on the Stalkers. Zealots are finally getting into the action, but no, really not. All of those Zealots were completely wasted in this entire battle, doing nothing, and now just dying. I think Terran might just be able to finish off this Nexus, and that'll be a huge advantage. Moving out, pushing those probes back, see if he can kill them off. Protoss warping in some units. There is an Immortal, but really only 5 Zealots and a Stalker, and there goes the Nexus. Oh my goodness, Protoss is in such a bad position. The Immortal's out. It is being focused on Marauders, which you need to see. Zealots are pushing back these Marauders, but what are they defending? No, they are defending nothing because they are just going to overpower this Immortal. And GG is called. You had to feel that once that Nexus went down. Just an unfortunate micro situation. I mean, the Protoss set up beautiful force fields to block off one of the 2 entrances into his natural, but then let his Zealots march against those force fields, trying to kill Hellions through force fields. It doesn't work, so he had so much of his army out of position. Again, that was a very, very strong push by Terran. I don't know if he would have been able to hold it without perfect play, and obviously not perfect play by Socke. So thank you so much, ladies and gentlemen, for watching 1 or 2 of the strongest European players out there, and certainly some of the most entertaining. Once again, my name is Gallion, and I am here representing Esports Canada. Check us out, Google us, support us, volunteer if you're in the Toronto or Canada area, and even if you're not, give us a shout out for trying to make esports grow. Thank you so much, ladies and gentlemen. Have a great day.